From day one, building patience in day trading has been my biggest hurdle. And that lack of patience over the 3 years I've been trading has cost me time, money, sleep, and in the first year, even hair. This morning, I was done for the day in less than 10 minutes, which might not sound very patient, but my rule is that I take the first valid setup of the session I see. So let's go check out the trade that I took today, and then I'll share what's been helping me build both short-term patience, waiting for my setups, and long-term patience, trusting the process over months and years instead of chasing quick money. All right, so I did have a long bias going into this session. I was looking at the hourly chart and I thought, okay, it looks like it'll go back up to the top of this range and maybe break up higher. But my C short strategy was setting up here. So now I was looking at taking a short. I didn't feel good about this at all, but my rule is to take the first valid setup of the New York session that I see. And this was the first valid setup. So I put my stop sell just below that signal candle. I should mention this is a perfect C short setup. So there wasn't a real reason for me not to like this. Signal candle was great. And the entry really kind of is in an ideal spot where it's just like 2 points inside the range. So I'm triggered in there.
Jump. And you might think, what if I fall? Well, what if you don't? What if you fly?
All right, so I passed my discipline challenge. Now let's see how my trade played out. Yeah, had I been watching this, I think I would have been pretty stressed here. I would have wanted it to go right away, but I wasn't watching, so it's fine. There was no stress. I just left the trade running, closed the office door, and left the room. This trade had, I guess on here now, it's like a 17-point stop, it looks like, but I thought it was 16, so my TP is set at 24 points. And I got my TP. Awesome. So I'm up $240 today, and that puts the funded account up probably close to $1,000 in the first 5 days that I've traded it. So I can't complain about that. Patience has been a pretty big struggle for me. I'd say the biggest struggle for me in trading. I think I'm just not really a patient person in general. I like to do things quickly, I would say efficiently, but I like to do things quickly. I like things to happen fast. Like when I've had worked regular jobs in the past, I can't do jobs where there's a lot of sitting around or things are slow. Like I just like to be busy and doing stuff all the time. Even now, like if I'm driving somewhere and I have no place to be, like there's no appointment, no time on it, I still find myself speeding all the time. So I'm not patient. I am working on it, uh, but it's hard. It's really, really hard for me. In the beginning, when I started trading, I was in that signals group. So I started on a personal account trading futures. And my first week trading futures, I made $8,000. So that also did not help me with any sort of realistic expectations for trading or long term patience. I thought it's just, I'm going to keep making that much money. And then in a month, I'm going to size up to two minis and I'm going to be making $16,000 a week and I'm going to be rich and things are going to be great forever. Obviously, not how it went. When I left the group and I started trading on my own, then I had to struggle with the patience because in the signals group they're telling you when to get in and when to get out. So I wasn't dealing with the patience of like, okay, is it good to get into my trade now? Is this a good setup? So when I went on my own and started trading, I was terrible with the patience of jumping in. I guess like just FOMO and just not waiting for my trade to fully set up and not entering on stops. Like I had planned after I took the Al Brooks course that, okay, I am a new trader. I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'll always enter on stops. I still do that. Um, but I would just constantly be like, oh yeah, this will probably go where it's supposed to. And I'd enter early. So I lost a lot doing that. And then I finally got to a point where I was patient with waiting for my setup. And then I dealt with the impatience of waiting for my TPs. So then I had to deal with learning to be patient and just leaving it to hit the profit target. For me, that means not watching the trades. That's been the best thing to develop patience there is just trying to trust it and let it play out. So once I kind of got some patience for waiting for my actual setup and then patience on the TP, Then I realized that the last and probably most important place where my patience is failing and letting me down is in the long term. Like, just always, as soon as I get funded or as soon as I start an eval, immediately thinking and doing math like, okay, when am I going to make money? When am I going to get a payout? How much is my payout going to be? And it's just always like trying to rush everything. So now I'm really just trying to have long-term patience with the trading and not have any expectations on when I'm going to be making money. Instead, I'm focusing on spending less money on evals. I'm trying to make the goals to stay in the funded account longer, so at least a month, and not make any goals about money or payouts or time. The only time goals are extending the time and making things take longer. So I guess like forcing a long term patience on myself because it's just been such a struggle. So I think to help with that, really focus on the process, focus on your system and your executions, and not on the money. I know that's like it's really hard. It's a struggle for sure, but I think that's what will help with patients the most is to just focus on the system. And then also for me now, it's focusing on actually collecting good data on my system. I want meaningful stats on my funded account this time because I've never had that. I've never had a funded account where I stuck to the plan, and I've never had one long enough to actually get any meaningful stats from it. So that's the focus for me is the stats, the process, and then just the little in the intraday trading, the patience to wait for the setup. I know today probably maybe didn't really look patient because I think my trade set up at like 6 or 7 minutes after the New York session started, but that was a legitimate setup for me, so I had to take it, and I can't go too far the other way with the patients where I'm not taking trades because they set up too early, because then I put myself in a bad state if I don't take the trade and then I watch it win. Then I'm far worse off than having just taken one losing trade early on and been done. Yeah, so if patience is something that you are struggling with too, or that you're working on, let me know in the comments. And if there's anything that you found that really has helped you to build patience, I know meditation is brought up a fair bit in trading and sort of just like in the space of building awareness and patience. I find meditating to be extremely difficult. I'll try to work on it, but that one's tough for me for sure. Yeah, so if you have any tips on patience or like any like actual things that you can do to help build patience, definitely let me know in the comments. I hope you had a good start to your trading week as well. If you like the video, leave me a like, comment, subscribe, and join me on my 60-day discipline challenge. Right now, I have 2 days in a row of following my rules of one trade a day and closing it up. I'm hoping to get every day this week a pass on my discipline challenge because I really want to keep this funded account, and there's pretty much no way I can lose the funded account right now if I just follow those rules. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.